If you've got adult children, the ones that you raised in your own home, but now are living out on their own. If you've got those kind of adult children, then you probably understand what it means to have the phone ring when you are making other plans. It's one of those things. Our kids go through things, we've gone through things. And so when they call to tell us about something that's gone wrong in their lives, we tend to be right there with them. We tend to walk with them. We tend to support them in their journey. But it does seem to upend our plans sometimes, doesn't it? Hi, I'm Bill Hennessy, and I help Christians in and near retirement navigate the chaos, change, and confusion of their new season so that they can experience more fulfillment, freedom, and friendship. Being a parent never ends. You maybe thought that you were going to raise them, send them out the door at 18, and they would be forevermore moving forward, and you'd never have to look back. You could go on about your daily lives. But that isn't the way it works. In fact, it's really good that it doesn't work that way because what it means is we are connected. We're family. We're a part of each other, and we want to have that kind of connection with other people. It's something that God puts in our hearts that fathers want to do well by their children, mothers want to do well by their children. And we want to create a legacy, not only in the things that we leave behind in terms of finances, in terms of possessions, in terms of properties. We want to leave a lasting memory of how we were there for them. Recently, my podcast guest, David Porter, talked about the fact that his Meemaw and father prayed for him when he was a boy, and he never forgot it. And that even as an adult, when his Meemaw and then later his father passed away, he felt like a big chunk of his prayer support was gone. I think we can all relate to that in some way or another, can't we? What God desires for us and from us is that we would act toward our children in a supportive role. We can't make the decisions for them. We can't right the wrong that was done to them, but we can simply say to them, look, I've been there, I've done that, I understand, and you certainly have my full support. Let me see if I can help you figure out a way to move forward. And you let them navigate this, but you support them in their navigation. That's really what makes adult parenting such a pleasure, is that you are taking on a whole different role. When you were young and your children were even younger, you were guiding them, you were helping them to make good decisions. Now that they're adults and you're an older adult, you're actually supportive of the way that they decide things because you've already sown that seed into their lives. Or you realize maybe that seed wasn't sown and now there's a little bit of correction to do. Either way, you're still engaged in their lives, but the role is different. They don't want us to fix things. They just want to know that they're not alone. They just want to know that it isn't just up to them to make everything right. You're there, you're supporting, you're doing what it takes to help them move forward. And I think that that's what sometimes will give you value and purpose, meaning in your retirement, is to realize that you can be that kind of supportive parent that says, hey, I'm here for you. If you ever have a crisis in your life, if you ever need a listening ear, I'm here. But I want you to know I trust you to make great decisions. I trust you to move on with your life in great fashion because I've raised you to know how to do those things. Then that phone rings and you pick it up and you realize, okay, there's still something for me to do. There's still some way that I need to engage with my son or my daughter, and there's something that I can contribute. Now, if it's really good, it'll be your grandkids. You get to help them with the grandkids. Maybe they have to run and do something they weren't expecting to do, and suddenly the grandkids are there on your doorstep. Again, it's an interruption, but what a blessed interruption to have your grandkids under your roof, to be able to look at them and see how much they're changing and growing by the day, to be able to spend time listening to them and hear what's important to them, their values, their dreams, their goals, their hopes for the future. And you can also help them when they're perplexed about those very same things. You could sit down and read them a story. You could tell them about the Bible. You could tell them about Jesus. You can tell them about what it was like when you were a kid and you had to walk to school 8 miles uphill in a snowstorm both ways. You know the drill. I guess what it comes down to is because we are still connected to family, we still have meaning, we still have value, we still have connection with other human beings. And that's something that a lot of people struggle with in retirement. So I think, sometimes reframing the interruption into something that says, I'm grateful to still be needed. I'm grateful to still be wanted. I'm grateful to still have a role in the lives of my adult children and in the lives of my grandchildren. It actually helps us to feel better about those interruptions. Because ultimately, if we look back, chances are somewhere in your past, your parents or your grandparents or someone in your life who was very important to you stopped what they were doing to be supportive of you. And now it's your chance to pay it forward, to invest that same kind of energy, time, and expertise into the children and grandchildren that God's given you. So if you're in a state of retirement or even nearing retirement and you have adult kids, when that phone rings, don't look at it with irritation. Look at it with appreciation that you're still connected in a meaningful and purposeful way with your children and with your grandchildren if God's blessed you with them. And oh, by the way, God intends for each of us to invest in others. We're not islands unto ourselves. We are actually meant to be interconnected to the community around us. And it begins with your family, even with adult children and grandchildren. So, what can you do about all this? Well, I think that it's important for you to decide today how you're going to interact with your kids the next time the phone rings and it's one of those crisis calls. What are you going to tell them? How are you going to speak into their lives? How are you going to show your support? What is it? Are you going to chide them? Are you going to have kind of that get off my grass attitude of so many senior citizens? Or are you going to say, hey, I can't fix this for you, but I can walk with you. How can I pray for you today? What can I do to step in and help you in this moment? And I think if you do that, God will bless your efforts and your retirement will have greater meaning, greater purpose, and you will find greater fulfillment in this best season of your life. Why don't you check out clarifyfocus.com, my website, and see about the free resources that I have there for you. There's a lot of things that you can find there. You can find information about coaching, you can find handouts or giveaways that I have there on the website. You'll also find information very soon about a retreat that will be happening in February of next year in Orlando, Florida. And if you'd like to know more about that, be sure to fill out a contact form on the website and just let me know that you want to be informed about what's going to come in the future as this whole idea of finding meaning and purpose in retirement takes on a new life through a retreat format. Until next time, have a great day and stay engaged.